What's going on, family? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to talk about 6 reasons why you should join the Corvette Club. Now, in order to join a Corvette club, you have to have a Corvette. So this video is for those that already have Corvettes who are not in clubs, or for those who want to get a Corvette, and this is a good reason why to get into a Corvette club once you get one. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, share the video. Let's get these subscribers up. Let's get to 705 subscribers today, all right? That's 10 subscribers. Let's hit 705, and let's keep pushing past that, all right? Now, the crazy thing about all of these numbers is that each one we're rolling to the other for the most part, okay? So I could make one big video on why you should join it, but we'll break it down. Number one is going to be events. So you guys see me go to multiple events. You see me post these compilation videos, Corvette shows, just all kinds of things. I am going with different groups to these shows, and that's how I'm able to be around as many Corvettes as I am, okay? With that being said, it gets me out of the house. We do things outside of Corvette events. All the Corvettes will go mini golfing or go-kart racing or whatever it may be. The way I was introduced to my group was I was going to another event and I seen a bunch of Corvettes doing autocross, and I became immediately interested. So I went to go talk to them. They told me who they were, what they do, and I did end up joining that club. However, I go to other Corvette shows. There's other groups there. You know, it may be one big show with a bunch of subgroups, and that's perfectly fine as well. As a matter of fact, I haven't posted this video yet, but I went to a Corvette show and there were over 200 Corvettes there. And they told me that's not even the biggest one. The biggest one is coming up in Memphis at the end of this month, and there should be 1,000 Corvettes. Now, I'm not a part of that group, but that information is still very, very valuable. With that being said, if I was not a part or following these Corvette groups, I would not have the knowledge of the car shows that I go to. Number two is going to be networking. Now, Corvettes are not cheap. This one is. You know, C5s are getting cheap. C6s aren't that bad. But when you start seeing C7 Z06s and C6 ZR1s and C8s, those cars are not cheap. With that being said, those people have done one of two things. They either made some great decisions to put themselves in a position to afford such a car, or they can't really afford it and they're, you know, maybe struggling. I don't think it's the latter, but it does happen. With that being said, it's important to get to know people who are making the right decisions and networking with those people. They may not put you in the best position, or you may not be able to directly benefit from them. However, listening to some of their advice may help you a great deal. Let's say that you are able to sit down and talk to them, and you get to know them, and they notice that you're a great person, you're a hard worker, and they want to open you up to a different opportunity. That's a great thing. There's nothing wrong with that. So, and this especially for the young people, you know, networking with individuals that are more mature than you are. You want to make sure that you have those connections, that you build those connections, and that way you can help yourself grow. Okay, now we're going to go from the professional setting and roll into number 3, which is friendships. Now, a lot of these people you're just going to have a great friendship with. When I walked up to my group, I'm not going to lie to you, I got a lot of odd looks. It was kind of like, what are you doing here and what do you want, right? I didn't have my Corvette with me at the time because it was in the shop, and so it was a little different. You know, they're very Corvette savvy, I'll say. So, however, there was one specific lady who was the governor of the group, and she welcomed me with open arms, and I've had open communication with her ever since. And then I went to a meeting that she invited me to, and there's a gentleman there, and I'm not going to say their names just in case they don't want their names mentioned, but there's a gentleman there, and same thing. You know, he immediately like, hey man, what's your phone number? And you know, we can get you discounts if you need any parts. We can do this, we can do that. And he's just a member, you know, who's heavily involved. So those relationships are priceless. You may not have met the person outside of a Corvette group, you know. You guys may have different backgrounds, different circumstances that would keep you from running into each other. Different locations. However, when people come together for, you know, a similar passion, then that's when you can make that connection. In regards to sharing a similar passion, we're going to go into number 4. Number 4 consists of, you have a passion that a bunch of other people have, which is Corvettes and cars, okay? Cars in general, Corvettes specifically, and you're able to come together with those people and share that passion. Now, You got people who work on their own cars and may have knowledge that you don't have. You may have people who have relationships or with dealerships or with vendors that can get you the parts you need. So you guys are all sharing that passion, which is absolutely amazing. Now, in sharing the passion, you can order a part, or you can get in contact with your group and say, hey, I'm about to order a specific part. Do you guys want to go in together? And that way we can negotiate a price. So when it comes to sharing that passion, you can benefit financially, you can become a better person, you can help other people. I mean, there's just so many different ways that one passion can shape who you are and the way you are, right? For example, perfect example, when Corvettes drive by each other, what do? They wave at each other, right? They say, what's up? Same thing with motorcycles. That's when I was first introduced to that concept. Now, that is a passion that you're sharing with somebody that you don't even know. When you join that group, you're able to communicate with that person. You're sharing that passion. You're coming together. You're having cookouts. You're having car shows. And it's just like you become a family at some point. And that's why I call you guys family, because we're sharing the passion, right? The passion is the car, or you follow me. And I appreciate that. I'm extremely grateful for it. All right. Number 5 is going to be discounts. We just talked about it, right? So a lot of Corvette groups do have certain benefits. You can order parts from a specific website or a specific vendor, and because you're a part of a Corvette group, you may get a discount. So now you're saving money from being in this group. Now, it does cost to be in a Corvette group. However, if your experiences and the money that you save outweighs what you're paying, then you're winning. There's a benefit, right? Again, building those connections could be worth that money itself. Networking could be worth that money itself. So getting a discount is a big plus, right? Even if it's 10%. You know, where I live at, we have 9% sales tax. So if you can knock off that 9% sales tax on a big item, that could be a lot of money, right? I'll take that. If you're spending $1,000 and you can knock off $100, why not? Okay? So again, getting discounts goes a long way. And you get those discounts by simply signing up and being a member, okay? This one here I have not been able to witness myself. I do need to buy some tires, and I talked to the guy about getting a discount, and so we'll see how that goes in regards to the discount. But you know, I mentioned I was in the Corvette group and he said he would look out. Last but certainly not least is number 6. Number 6 is giving back, okay? Now my Corvette group that I am into, they're heavily into giving back to St. Jude. When we have our car shows, a lot of the money goes to St. Jude. This is a misconception about a lot of groups. Motorcycle clubs do the same thing. You know, a lot of people see motorcycle clubs and think that they are reckless or violent or whatever it may be. Some are, don't get me wrong, some are. However, there are a lot of clubs that give back, especially to children. They do school drives. The Corvette club the other Corvette club that I go to car shows with, they gave out a scholarship to a gentleman to go to college. These things are huge. So if you want to give back, and if you're able to afford a Corvette, you got to think that, you know, a lot of people aren't, okay? So you have to be grateful for the things that you have and make sure that you're giving back and making sure that you are being a community leader in a sense, okay? And you don't have to give back monetarily. In that Corvette group, you may be able to have an influence. You know, kids can come to the car shows, see a bunch of Corvettes, and you may have an influence on the kid that you may not be aware of, okay? So those are the 6 reasons why you should join the Corvette Club. Let me guys know if there's any other benefits to joining the club, what you think in your mind. And if you have not joined the club, let me know why not. You know, I know some people are probably against it. They like to sit in the house, just relax. They don't want to deal with it. But this is the thing about the club. You don't have to participate in every single thing. There's a lot of people in our club that don't go to the meetings. They don't go, they don't participate in our activities. So, you know, I'm going to, because number 1, I'm spending money, and number 2, I just like being out and about, especially in the summertime. You guys see this grass out here. Wow. I'm in the jungle right now, okay? I like being out and about when it's warm. When it gets cold, you probably won't see me, all right? I appreciate you guys watching that video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and let's get it up. Let's run it up.